Could FTX be planning a revolution in the NFT space? That's what we're going to dive in today. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath. Today we're going to look at NFTs and kind of the evolution of where NFTs are moving and why some of the companies are really positioning right now, because this is all about a strategy play that many companies are in the throes of right now. As we speak and are filming this video, there are a ton of executives in the blockchain industry that are huddled in virtual rooms or in person, trying to put together a strategy on how to deal and also how to uncover the big opportunities that are going to be flowing out in the NFT world. And again, as you guys know, you're following our channel, NFTs, this is a landslide shift in what I think is the 2013 of crypto. And let me kind of reference that. If you were in crypto in 2013, I remember I looked at crypto in 2013. The complexity of it at that time to be able to be involved in cryptocurrency was a little bit cumbersome. And it definitely does not have the ease and the ability for almost anyone to get into crypto that we see in today's world, even though it still is very early in crypto. The 2013 era was light years behind where the market is today. That's exactly where the NFT market is right now. It's the 2013 of crypto. So if you're listening to this video, watching this video, you are way out in front and you are going to experience what I think will be the next evolution, if not revolution, in where our society is moving, because this is going to be the tokenization of culture. And what I mean by that is when you look at everything from IP in music, art, sports, entertainment, and all of the potential of what some of the brands could start bringing to this game. Remember, that is subculture. That is the culture of society. And when you can tokenize that, the opportunities will be unbelievable, and they are so under-realized right now. Just as I start to play with some fame ladies and start to get into NFTs a little deeper, we've been researching it here for over a year and really understanding where the market is moving. And of course, the seamless switch I've seen over the last couple of months, really over the last 90 days, has been one that even I am now looking at going, shaking my head. There's a lot of movement here. Let's jump to quickly over here to Live Coin Watch, just to look at a couple of the two big players here and kind of where they are currently. Let's take a look at Cardano. If you're watching this, and you guys of course saw a little bit of this market crash and the recorrection quickly that we've already started to see. Again, this was not a big market crash. I shouldn't say that as a market crash. This was a market correction that allowed, again, players to jump back in. And again, this liquidated a lot of panic sellers. It also liquidated shorts. It also put a lot of the players in the market on blast, in the sense of being able to prep for Cardano is going to be a major player in the NFT space. And I'll get into a lot of where this is going and why FTX is going to be so important in that. I also want to jump back over here to Solana. Let's take a look at Solana. Of course, as you guys know, we are a fan of this project, big fan of this project, but bought in very early. Full disclosure, I am an investor in the Solana project, and I do think this is going to be one of those. Again, also, they saw even a little bit of a direction or a little bit of correction right there at the 150 mark. I had a trigger on this one. It executed. I was so happy it did, because Solana jumped right back up here to $188, and that is as of today at noon. So you can kind of see the movement here. Again, Solana is going to be a major player in the NFT space, and really kind of where this is going to roll out to. And just as a kind of a reminder, this was back in August, mid-August, right here. Market pundits term Cardano the sleeping giant, poised to topple Ethereum in no time. If Charles meaning the founder of Cardano, can put this into play for the Alonzo and Purple to get rolled out on September 12th, the big factor is going to be how quickly will projects, applications start to roll out on that and eventually go into the Cardano NFT platforms, and also where Cardano is going to be executing on higher number of transactions. All of this starts to play into Cardano's timeline. always a question of whether or not you buy the rumor and sell the news in something like that. If you're a short-term Cardano holder, that might be a good play for you. If you're doing a little swing trading, if maybe you sold right before this at the $3 mark, great for you, kudos. If you're more of a long-term to mid-term holder on Cardano, this is where it's going to get interesting because you got some decisions to make. The likelihood is ETH 2.0 is going to start to put a little bit of rain on that parade, but can Cardano put enough projects into play and get enough partnerships underway to really kind of change it? And can they launch, and I shouldn't say launch, but can they implement and execute on their NFT platform, which could change the game around all of that? And the reason that is important is because you're looking at other projects like Solana right here, which hit all-time highs. Coin rises 14% in the last 24 hours. This is, again, back to one of those things where Solana is a major player in the potential for what is going to happen on these NFT platforms. And when you think about not only that, but projects that are predominantly ETH driven, let's take a look at OpenSea real quick. Founders, this was them basically talking on the secrets of the explosive NFT growth market. You can kind of see some of the things. Enthusiasm, of course, accompanied by explosive sales. August 18th, NFT sales hit a new record break, 897 million in sales from the past 30 days. And you can kind of see the movement here and just what's been happening on OpenSea. And the opportunity here is going to explode because, again, this is all driven off of mostly Ethereum and projects and platforms like that, which are Ethereum based. Remember, a lot of these projects didn't have the functionality. The opportunity here is going to be huge. If ETH 2.0 rolls out, we start to see those gas fees come down. OpenSea is absolutely going to unhitch. Now, where does FTX play into the NFT market? I want to jump to this story right here on Yahoo. FTX to launch their NFT marketplace with cross-chain trading between Ethereum and Solana. Big deal right here because it's able to kind of bridge the gap both on if and when ETH 2.0 lands and also the massive opportunity that Solana presents. So this is going to be a thing, I think, that is really going to start to implement a potential opportunity here on what's going to happen with FTX. You can kind of look at it. The development was revealed today by FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, as everybody knows him in the crypto space. NFTs on the marketplace could be traded cross-chain with deposits and withdrawals on NFTs in the next few weeks. This is going to be big for them. Here's my question. Does Sam have in play for FTX to essentially create their own chain? If they create their own chain, then they go the way of Binance. And they also change the game on a lot of these functional applications on NFT and how these can be executed. So this is going to be fun to watch. If you look also at what they did, this was something he, of course, did. The test, artist SBF, comedically displays a simple drawing, one-word test, and of course did the bid of $1,100, I think is what they had it up to. But the point being is that the platform was enabling anyone to create NFTs on the fly, free of charge. Now that kind of backfired a little bit on them. And what I mean by that is they ended up getting spammed by all of these fish. Let me jump to this FTX story the story right here on Decrypt. So basically, it was the marketplace ended up getting spammed with all these fish images that essentially, and of course, what they did, meaning FTX, is they said, "Wait a minute, all right, guys, you're not playing fair. We'll go in and we'll charge $500 now to mint an FTX, very expensive." And eventually, they moved that back down to like $10 very quickly in adjusting. But the point being is that FTX is a fast growth platform and they've got a lot of money and major investors behind them. They are now cross-chain, and the potential for them to bring in maybe their own chain will be the big question here on how this rolls out. Because if that were to happen, cross-chain capability of Solana, and if they bring on other chains, maybe like a Cardano, or if you look something like an Avalanche, that would be a perfect example. All that tying into something that would be kind of a centralized new piece. Now, something is, maybe it doesn't necessarily withhold OpenSea from going in that direction, because there's some opportunities over there, because obviously OpenSea kind of controls the space right now. And when you look at that, I just like, when I'm exploring new NFTs, that's typically where I'm going, is OpenSea. So the opportunity here for FTX, because they're so early, to become one of those major marketplaces and really become part of that exponential growth opportunity that we're experiencing right now, could be huge. And if they bring in their own chain application, as I've said, this would be another SBF, I think, power play in the NFT market, because he is after this NFT market. And this is something that I think a lot of people, if you're watching our channel, you understand technology is in a major shift right now. And you have to think about where NFTs are going. This is going to be entertainment, music, art, traditional, and also the emerging art, digital art, etc. The content creator space, videos, podcasters, all of that's going to fall in the NFT space. Sports and entertainment, that will fall into NFTs, as will movies and gaming. Gaming and movies alone will most likely, I should say gaming alone, will dominate the future of where NFTs are going. We're going to do a video on one, being able to identify a lot of these projects in the early stages. Where do you look? How do you trace those down? Including IDOs, and because that's going to be a big player into where NFTs are going to be introduced into the marketplace on these DEXs that essentially are in the initial DEX offerings, that can really kind of identify and vet out what's happening in the space. Because this is the big problem right now for NFTs. Many people do not catch them early enough for them to really get the gains that you need to be able to trade them and sell them. And also, if in some cases, maybe you're going to hold them. But the opportunity is that the research required to get that done right now is kind of held by only a handful of people. And what I mean by that is, as I refer back to what NFTs were today as crypto was in 2013, only a handful of people really understand or understood how to push and move wallet storage of your cryptocurrency in 2013, understood the process of buying it in 2013, and how to get access to it and be able to hold it and secure it, all those kind of things. Now, granted, we're a little further along on that because of some of the platforms, but the opportunity here is in the identification of it. This is what I think is going to be the big play, and that's including gaming. Gaming and how Axie Infinity kind of blew out. But there's so many other projects. Illuvium is another one. There's so many that are coming that people don't even know about yet. So that is what we're going to try to start bringing to you more and more on this show here on the Baron Network, because I think the key here is going to be just knowledge on what to look for, where to look for it, and then you make your own assessment on what you like in terms of the projects, but also in terms of your investments and kind of what you guys are going to do there. Now, if you're looking at NFTs, hit me in the comments below, because I'm interested in what you're doing on NFTs. Obviously, we know all the big ones, from Bored Apes to the cuties to the kitties to what we're seeing now with Fame Ladies. I mean, all of that, of course, is great, but I want to hear what you guys are watching in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you want to reach out to us, you can hit me up on Twitter at Paul Barron. If you're listening in over on the podcast, join us here on YouTube. Make sure and subscribe, like, and share this out to your friends and maybe your audience or your teams that are trying to understand a little bit more about what the blockchain technology is going to do in terms of shifting the entire technological and I think in business in general, the ecosystem in which we do digital art or any kind of digital creation. This is where it's all going to land in the next few years. So stay tuned right here on another episode of TechPath.